Hello everyone, welcome to SC2 Noob School. This is Trebus, and today we're going to be watching a strategy of Select. This game this is a Terran vs Zerg. Select is the red Terran in the top left, with Liquid Haypro as the yellow Zerg in the bottom right on Jungle Basin. And so pretty much we're mostly going to be focusing on the strategy that Select is doing. In particular, his opening I think is just one of the most solid and standard and very popular openings that Terrans are doing versus Zerg right now. And it pretty much relies on the philosophy of needing to prevent the Zerg player from only making drones. As a Terran or Protoss or even Zerg, you have to stop the Zerg player from being able to make entirely drones. If they can just sit there and make drones for the first like 5 minutes of the game and fast expand, their economy is going to kick in and be so ridiculous that no Terran or Protoss can ever catch up with that. So what this build does is this is the 2 racks opening. Now if you've been watching StarCraft in any reasonable amount, you've seen this opening before but may not understand some of the intricacies of it, so I'm going to be following it quite closely. The barracks goes down right as soon as that supply depot is done, and at the 12 supply mark I believe an SCV is going to be cut here. No, actually I don't think he's going to cut an SCV. You can cut one SCV to get this barracks up at 13 instead of 14, but he's going to just go ahead and get it up at 14. And the basic philosophy is that you try to get 2 barracks pumping out Marines in the first couple minutes of the game. Now we see here Select's SCV blocking this expansion for a little while. Haypro getting a nice surround off on the SCV. SCV's gonna have to run away. He wishes he could delay that for a little bit longer, but he's just unfortunately too close to death. Brave SCV, brave soldier. I wonder if the Terrans have like a unit that's just like a straight up garbage collector that's a lower level job than SCV. Whoa, taken out. Drones jumping off the line, taking out the SCV. Alright, enough getting fascinated by this. Back to the build order. Obviously, the orbital command goes down as soon as you can. Pretty much always want to be doing that. And what is that SCV doing? He just left the barracks. He just stopped building the barracks. This guy's a punk. This new recruit SCV, he's like, screw this, man. I don't want to build this barracks. I was meant for adventure. I was meant for bigger and better things. So he just goes off and goes off on his own. I'm really curious. Whoa, he's hiding. This is one wily SCV right here. Wow. So I don't know what that was about. Actually pulling the SCV off of the barracks, that's actually really weird to me. But notice what he's doing is getting these barracks aligned so that they're able to make Marines at the same time. And what you're going to want to do is push out when you've got around 4 Marines. So that was 2 pumps from the barracks, and he's got 4 Marines, and he's also choosing to bring 2 SCVs with him. And what this is going to allow him to do is build bunkers at the bottom of the ramp right here. You don't always have to commit to doing this if the Zerg can somehow stop you, if he's maybe going for really fast roaches or something and it's not going to be effective. You don't have to do it. You can just pull your SCVs back and send them back to the line. And while all this is going on, the Terran player has his eyes on an expansion. He's got this free expansion up here that he can get whenever he wants, and so he's actually not going to get gas. Notice, no gas at all. Just going to be pumping out of these barracks, pumping out of his more SCVs out of his orbital command, then eventually getting that second orbital command up. So this is a very dangerous bunker contained, getting nice surround off on that 1 Marine. You know, not a huge difference, but you know, I guess a significant difference. 3 Marines instead of 4 Marines. And continuing to rally in Marines to these bunkers, and Select is just going to do this slow bunker crawl. And there's really a couple ways that the Zerg player can choose to deal with this. He needs to get creep out so that he can poke these bunkers with the spine crawler. Spine crawlers have 7 range. Bunkers add 1 range to every unit that they put in it, and Marines have 5 range, so they have 6. So obviously the spine crawler can hit the bunker, poking in these Marines, doing quite a bit of damage to these drones, getting several drone kills, taking out more lings. Haypro's in a little bit of a problem here. He's gonna have to definitely get out those roaches very soon, getting more drone kills. And now that spine crawler's up, this middle line is going to be relatively safe. However, there's still quite a few bunkers down here full of Marines. This is going to be a big problem. until he could get that spine crawler pushed up, start poking this bunker. Now the placement here is absolutely key. He's got to get that spine crawler placed right at that 7 range. Roaches popping out, trying to take out some of these SCVs. Gonna have to back off. Gonna need to back off. That bunker just has too much health, especially with these 2 SCVs repairing it. And poke, poke, poke away, says the spine crawler. Actually, he's not even able to out DPS the repair on this bunker. Marines are going to come down and do this damage at the expansion while the, the bunkers just continually get poke, poke, poked. This giraffe has a really tough job. Never a day off for that spine crawler. I guess that's job security though. Not too bad. Entirely unable to mine from this expansion right now. So this is actually a really, really nice contained, or not a contained, just a interruption for the Terran player against the Zerg. Forced to make these roaches, which aren't going to be super incredibly useful, and he's having to spend a lot of money just to get these roaches out of here. Notice nice pulling back of the roaches by Haypro. Ugh! Maybe losing one more than he could have, but eventually pushing back this aggressive opening by Select. And let's see what was going down that whole time. I was commentating the matches, but what he did was get the command center up first and then throw down 2 more barracks. These barracks are going to be for getting 2 tech labs. This is to get lots and lots of upgrades. He's getting Stim and Combat Shield. He threw down, you generally want to get the refineries like right after you get the command center. In fact, you can just throw down both refineries as soon as that command center finishes. That's a good way to think about it. As soon as the command center, two refineries, and then try to get that combat shield and stim as soon as you can, and also being able to pump out marauders in case the Zerg goes for roaches, which he obviously is if you've got bunkers up in his base, up in his business. So continuing to just pump out 1 marine at a time out of these 2 barracks, and then pumping out marauders out of each of these. And getting a nice economic lead in the beginning. Let's look at the income. Haypro is still able to be a little bit in the lead. You can see just the amazing power of Zerg macro whenever they're able to just make so many drones. But yeah, not a bad spot for Select to be in, really. It's pretty much evened it out. If he hadn't been out there doing damage, Haypro could be way ahead by now. Wouldn't have had to spend nearly as much money on, you know, that several spine crawlers to defend, all those Zerglings, all those roaches. Because who knows if those roaches are going to be useful to him at all, with a nice, just entirely barracks units push coming in here. Notice on the production, the Stim and Combat Shield is finished. This is, my friends, is what is called a timing attack. As soon as a useful upgrade finishes, just run in there, staying on the ramp so the Zerglings can't get this around, still taking a lot of damage from these spine crawlers, able to take out a queen. Looks like these spine crawlers are going to go down, but the power of this small push has been severely limited. Maybe we're going to be able to take out some overlords, running the marines away. Run, marines! And they managed to get away from the banelings, but still the really scariness of this attack has been pushed back. Marauders were able to come in, get a couple kills there, but health is very low now. 1 spawn of Zerglings is probably going to be able to take this out. Select being very good at making these as cost effective as possible, and there the Zerglings come out able to just chew away all those marines. That hurts a lot. At the same time, I believe there's some rocks going down here, and Select having to defend. Apologize for missing that. I'm going to pause real quick. This was kind of been commentary style, but I want to point out how important that push was that just happened. Because sometimes it's difficult to know where to go with your gameplay once you get your 2nd expansion up, and that's the 2nd target you want to shoot for if you're going for this build, is that Marine Marauder timing push right there. Get Combat Shield and Stim. As soon as that's done, you want to be right here for as soon as it's ready and going to be useful to you. You want to be able to use it as soon as you can. That is timing, and it's a very nice timing to use for this game. So, Select's rocks are down. That's going to be a severe liability for him right now. Looking at the units tab, Haypro has a significant number of zerglings out on the field, but nothing much more than that. Nothing that's really going to get past a wall. If Select, wants to put a couple bunkers there, maybe a barracks wall or something like that, these zerglings are not going to be effective at all. Although he does have his eye on banelings. Getting that baneling speed upgrade, getting a spire, getting burrow. Gonna be needing to spread creep around here as much as possible. Having banelings with speed on creep is, you would not believe how much more effective that is than slow banelings off creep. Marines with stim can pretty much just loll over slow banelings. You can just run away, pick them off, let your marauders tank damage, let your marauders get kills, spread your marines with plenty of time, no problems at all. Okay, so the next big, broad idea in this build is after that timing push, you're going to want to get a factory and a starport and just start. This is kind of the part where you need to start reacting more to what's happening in the game. In fact, we're just going to go to the Select cam so we can see the intel that Select has. So Select knows about the Roachwarren. He knows that, I think that was a spine crawler. No, he does know about the spire. And he knows about the baneling nest. So the reason to get this factory with the tech lab is for siege tanks to take care of the banelings, as well as getting an armory to take care if there's a lot of mutalisks coming in. You can just get a couple thors. You really don't have to go overboard on thors if you need to protect against mutalisks. You really just need 1 or 2, so long as you have some marines in there as well, because the marines are really going to be doing a lot of damage to the thors. Thor's able to do a lot of damage, although mutalisks can be good against thors if they can do the magic box, but when there's marines there, obviously they cannot magic box. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say magic box, go find a video. I believe StarCraft has one of the better videos. Oh, baneling landmine! That's totally worth a backup. Baneling landmine somewhere over here. He has no idea where it is. Since I'm watching from his vision, I have no idea where it is. Whoa, taking out so many marines right there. That was a huge amount of damage done by Haypro. Taking out those marines, he's also able to poke in with these mutalisks, be much more confident taking out some of these marines, but the marine reinforcements are going to push him away, as well as those medivacs able to just heal up those marines so effectively. And those baneling landmines, they will get inside of your head. You need to scan a lot as a Terran. Haypro coming in with a nice zergling attack, catching those siege tanks out of position, and more banelings and mutalisks coming in, totally repelling this attack. Very nice repel by Haypro. I'm going to be able to take out these medivacs too with, a reasonable amount of energy on them. The most valuable medivacs, pretty good nonetheless. Got a little strike force of marauders coming down here. Possibly going to try to take out these rocks, but in all reality, not going to be able to do a whole lot. So continuing to pump out siege tanks. Really, you have to have these siege tanks just for the banelings themselves. So let's see what else is going on in here. Reactor starport for the medivacs, obviously. And notice he's just not going overboard on the factories at first. While he's still on 2 base, he can just get 1 siege tank at a time, so long as they're constant production. And he's also gearing up to take a 3rd. Now, Jungle Basin is notorious for being very difficult to get a 3rd base up. They're so far away from your base, they're very easy to counterattack by the other player. So really, a lot of games on Jungle Basin end up looking like this, where it's just a strong 2-base timing push, staying on 2 bases for a while, trying to just win the game right there. Scans going down. You notice how much money that is lost for Select every time he has to scan there. There's no guarantee that there's going to be a baneling bomb there, and that's about 300 minerals lost every time, just for the cost of, 2 banelings or 0 banelings. Looks like Select's going to be able to take out this 3rd expansion here, and an engagement coming down. Zergling's not able to do much. Got the siege tanks nicely protecting them. Able to take out that expansion, but not before the mutalisks arrive. Revenge! That my friends were morphing inside of their mutalisks are awful. Have you ever noticed a mutalisk looks like a Tyrannosaurus Rex on the portrait picture? Look at this. Look, does that not look like a T-Rex? Someone showed me that one time, and I can now never unsee that. I'll never unsee it. Alright, so the action's getting kind of crazy, and it's kind of just turning into a commentary. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn on the all vision. So once again, Haypro trying to get this third base up. It's going to be really, really difficult in these positions, though. Select is going to be able to siege tank and siege up, protect himself from any banelings coming up, and be in a quite nice position here. But at the same time, Needle is coming in, going to try to do as much damage as they can, powering through some turrets. Ooh, that's a lot of damage to be taking from those turrets. But he is able to repel the SCVs, at least for a little while. Likely going to be getting a planetary fortress there. A very excellent choice. I'd say as a rule of thumb, you can get a planetary fortress at your third most of the time. So Haypro coming in here, getting right in the production facilities, which is a nice place to be. If there's no turrets here, you can completely cut off reinforcements and force the Terran player to pull back his entire army. And notice, this is just an artifact of this, of Jungle Basin, the map. There's so much room to fly back here. It's really deadly to have all these mutalisks there. And oh wow. You know, that might have looked like a win for Select, but look at the damage on all these Marines. These Marines are at 25 of 55 health, so that Stim actually did a huge amount of damage to each of those Marines. I think people really don't give enough credit to how important it is to force Marines to Stim. Having them Stim is really like, you know, getting a free upgrade on them, basically, losing 10 health. That's the way I like to think about it anyway. And obviously these medivacs aren't totally full on health, so they're on energy, so it's going to take a while to break through those. Mutalisks doing what they do, being completely annoying and containing the Terran, but you know what? He's just going to move out. Says, I don't care about those mutalisks. I got turrets up. Let's just push in with these siege tanks. Gonna park these siege tanks somewhere around here. Whoa, that ramp is a busy ramp. Got a friggin' subway in there. Banelings coming in. Banelings gonna get, oh, so many Banelings taken out by those siege tanks. That was a totally critical moment. So many Marines in here. I don't think Haypro is gonna be able to do anything. And there goes the GG. I didn't point it out enough, but also notice in an army when you're going for just siege tanks and lots of Marines, it's always important to get those upgrades. So yeah, was this a commentary video or was this a strategy video? I don't know. I started off as a strategy video and then it was just so cool that I just wanted to cast it. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I keep forgetting to say, follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/TrevisSC2. Follow me because I need more followers, because I need people to listen to everything I say, because I'm an attention whore. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Peace out. GG.